Hello everyone, welcome to Rise of Patience. This is tutorial number 5 and today we are going to look at the governments. Republic or despotism, which government is better for you? We're going to look at different factors that you can use to decide which government to go for. So guys, stay tuned. Now let me come to the first point, which is the most obvious and it's better to get rid of it earlier, which is the game style. If you're playing the infinite game style, then of course you do not need senator. You're better off with the despot because of the increased line of sight and the supply ability. On the other hand, if you're playing tech race, there's no point of despot since war is not allowed. You are better off with the senator because of the economic advantages. Similarly, in deathmatch, you start with a lot of resources, but still you need the supply and the line of sight ability. So despotism is preferred. These are black and white areas. There is no other or otherwise in these cases. However, it gets a little gray when you come to nomad and standard games. In nomad, you are 80% likely to choose senator governments just because of the nature of these games. These are long games, and eventually the economic benefits of the senator are going to outsmart the despotic ability. And besides, despotism can be paralyzing in some cases. In case you lose your army or you get doubled, well, that's when you will start regretting your despot, especially because in nomad the commerce too is expensive and you are going to be left with 100 eco for a very long time. I'll give you an example right here. I'm Romans and I go with despotism. I am against Mongols and Americans in front of me. I have Zen mechanics close to me, so we are pretty sure that we are going to kill. We have a nice start here. Red Jackal and Old Dirty are Old Dirty. I don't know how to say that, but they were trying to siege us, but now we have the upper hand. Here we are. We have a huge army, and we take that city. And just then, when we thought we were winning, here comes Robocop with this army. We get 3 versus 2 here, and now things start going south for us. Once we lose this battle, since I am still stuck with 100 eco, I almost never recover from that last. Now Red Jackal, being Americans with a wonder, he eventually kills me, and I'm never able to survive that kind of attack. However, in standard the line becomes even more blurred, and this tutorial is going to be more useful for you if you're a standard player than if you're a nomad player, just because in standard the choice of your government can be very dynamic. You may have a lot of thoughts about which government to take. Meanwhile, in nomad, most of the time it's going to be senator. Coming to another obvious factor is the map style. If you're playing a water map, then you are almost 100% sure that you take the senator, because the extra commerce cap you get from senator will be easily achievable through the bountiful resources in a water map. And also you're less likely to get rushed in a water map. You are likely to be far away from each other. That gives you enough time to have your army set up and also your economy set up. The equation gets a little complicated in land maps, and that's what we are going to look at in the further parameters. The first important parameter that you want to look at while deciding your government is the available resources in the territory. For example, in this game I am Lakota. I already have commerce 2 in my library. I am maxing out 150 on my food and wood. However, this is a Great Lakes map, which means there is plenty of food and wood available throughout the map. There is plenty of metal available as well. So I choose to go for Republic. So right now I am at 150. My opponent, tallest snake here, is at 110. After some time I reach 200, and I will also be reaching 200 of my foot very soon, compared to my opponent who is still at 100, who has not decided his government yet. So choosing the government should be a quick decision, but should be a calculated decision. Only if you think you have the resources to utilize the extra commerce cap, go for Republic, else you have to go for Despotism. Then in this example, this is Great Sahara map, and everybody who's played this map knows that the resources are not as plenty as you have in Great Lakes, so the decision becomes even more difficult here. And based on the resources available, I see that I'm China against Aztecs, and I got these 2+6 wood patches right next to my second city. So this gives me a good idea that yes, if I go senator, I will be able to maximize my wood income and be close to 200. So I choose the senator in this game. However, if my wood was far away, I would rather go for Despotism, because just so that I don't have to build a woodcutter camp too far away which can get raided, and I don't want to give my enemy plunder or just any kind of advantage. So yep, resources, available resources. Can you maximize your commerce cap or not? In contrast to the previous two games, here I see that I do not have as many resources. I've got a +3 wood line here and a +6. That's all the wood I have in my territory. I feel that that's not sufficient to fill the 200 commerce cap that the senator give me. So instead I go for Despotism. And this is a good decision here, because since I cannot fill my commerce cap, I would rather try to raid my opponent and paralyze him this way instead of outboom. In this game, Red Bull is Persians and he goes for Republic. Eventually I raid him a lot, and yeah, I emerge as the winner in this game. The bottom line is, do you have the resources to max out your Republic government's 50 commerce cap? If you have, then yes, it could be a good idea to go for senator. Else, stick to Despotism and do your thing. Next, let's come to the proximity to your opponent. If you think you're close to your opponent, it's better to go for Despot, just in case you think you can kill him. And if you think the opponent is far away, then it's okay to go for Senator. Here in this example, 969 and Syntax, they are very close to Duzzles, who eventually moves his capital to Mantinia right here. This gives them a good incentive to go for an aggressive government, so that guys can double or rush this capital. Here you can see Syntax goes for Despotism, and since he's Turks, it completely makes sense. So proximity is one of those factors that you keep in mind while deciding your government. So here you can see that I'm playing 1 versus 1 against Surge, and we are too close. So proximity is high. That means there's going to be a lot of battles, and when there's a lot of battles, Despotism is a good idea. It's because I will get cheaper army, and these whenever I kill an enemy unit within the radius of my Despot, I get plunder, which I can use to create more army. So the bottom line here again is that while deciding your government, you want to see how close you are to your opponent. Do you have time to sit back and boom up, or are you going to battle right away? In this game I eventually end up losing, but that's because of my stupid mistakes and not because of the government. Next, we come to another important factor, which is your nation. First, you want to decide if your nation is a good match for an aggressive move or for a boom. Also, can your nation still reach the extra 50 cap that the senator will provide? If yes, then I think Republic is a good idea. If not, then you are better off with despotism and with raids. For example, in this game, I am Japan, and as you know, Japanese are known for their cheaper farms, and the farms also produce extra food. This makes it easy for me to reach the 200 food limit as soon as possible, and once I have extra food, then I can create extra villagers for everything else. So I would say Japanese in this case is a very good example of when you should research senator. However, Japanese are versatile, they're also good for aggression. So if I went for despotism, that would also be fine. Then there are other nations as well which are good for economy. These are mentioned on the screen right now. And if you have any of those nations, it can be a good idea to go for Republic just to max out the nation's economic advantages. Here I am Romans. Romans are known to be a very aggressive civilization, and Romans don't have exactly a great economic bonus. They do get free wealth from every city, but they don't have any extra advantages about food and wood or metal. So I decide to go for Despot in this game. I also have a kind of idea that Red Bull will try to get his third city as soon as possible, which I want to block. And against Japanese are good for both aggression and boom, and Romans are mostly good for aggression. So I stick to my plan, and eventually I'm able to deny his city. The next parameter is your opponent's nation. Now, believe it or not, your opponent's nation is very important, because based on his idea of what he's going to do, you have to adapt as well. Also, coming back to my previous factor, which is my own nation, here I've got Inca. So Inca don't have any particular advantage which helps me get my eco up to 200 quicker. They do get the wealth from their mines, but nothing else. So I decide to go for despotism. Another reason for going despotism is my opponent's nation, which in this case is Red Bull's Lakota. Anybody who has played with Red Bull with Lakota knows that this is his strongest civilization, and if I try to boom against Red Bull's Lakota, I will eventually lose because I cannot outboom Lakota. They're just too strong. So my game plan here is to keep pressure on him, keep attacking him, and while doing that, I will try to kill his cities. So here you can see economy wise, Red Bull is doing much better. He is at 150 already, while I am at 120. Very soon he will overtake me to 200 as well. However, what's going to distinguish my game from his is the constant raids that I'm going to give him. Here you can see that Red Bull is not raiding me at all, because since I'm the one raiding him, he is only stuck at the defensive position. A good example is this game. Here Dave is against Cazador. You can see Cazador has got a better economy and everything better than Dave here. 140 of food, 103 of wealth, 94 of knowledge. However, Dave has got an army, and Dave's got an army because he knows that Americans are too strong in the late game and he needs to finish Cazador right now. He's too late. He goes for despotism, he masses of army, and there he goes. This tells you that your opponent's nation should be used as an important indicator what you should be doing. Certain nations that are too strong in the late game should be wiped out early, and there's no better way to wipe out your opponent than to go despot. Also, tells about your game strategy as well. If my opponent is going for despotism, I should be worried about raids. If my opponent is going for senator, I should be less worried about raids and more worried about getting outboomed by him. Game is a good example of your opponent's important factor in deciding your game plan. Here you can see I'm against Dave. Dave is Mayans compared to me, Romans. Everybody knows that Mayans versus Romans is a very bad matchup, and Romans almost always emerge victorious. Especially after Age 4, Romans become just too strong. Even in Age 3, they are too strong. So Dave goes for a medieval rush. He goes for despotism. You can see that since he went for despotism, I have a better eco than him. However, I did not notice that he's going for despotism, so I have no clue that he's going to attack, because normally people are not expected to attack with Maya. And eventually he takes me by surprise. On this side you can see that I am close to aging. I can pick up on military level 3 and very soon I will be age 4. However, Dave just catches me off guard at the perfect moment when I do not have a lot of army, and this becomes a turning point in this. At the same time, I want to emphasize on another factor that you want to keep in mind while deciding your government: the rare resources. Are your rare resources helpful in booming or an attack? In this case, Dave has salt. Salt means cheaper infantry. So addition to the despot's cheaper infantry, he gets further cheaper infantry. And you can see most of his army is just infantry, only 2 cavalry here. So it becomes easier to take opponent cities with infantry than with cavalry, because the cavalry do not add to your army when it comes to capturing a city. Only the infantry count. So the rare resources in your territory are going to be a key factor deciding which government to. Also, your opponent's rare resources. Does your opponent have a lot of booming rares? Then if yes, then it's better to kill him before he can use those rares. So guys, let's have a quick revision of what all important factors I have mentioned in this review. Also, let me know if you guys know about any other factors that we use for deciding governments in the comments below. I'll be reading all of those. I hope you all learned something from this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Please check out my other tutorials as well. Let me know what you guys liked about it and what you did not. See you all later. Bye bye.